edition of Inside OPSU. I'm Danae Moore, Panhandle State Campus Communications Director, and today we'll be joined by President Dr. Tim Fulton, as well as two new members of the administrative team, Dr. Blanton and Dr. Dinger. We'll get a chance to meet them as well as get a sneak preview of what's to come for the homecoming celebration on October 28th. We're joined now by University President Dr. Tim Fulton. Hi, Dr. Fulton.
Hi, Danae.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're glad to have you on the show.
Thanks.
So we are about a month and a half into the fall semester, and we're already making history. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. So we actually just admitted the largest freshman class in the history of Oklahoma Panhandle State University.
Pretty awesome.
And so really what that was is it was a culmination of a lot of people coming together and pulling in the same direction. And so we've always done good work, but I don't know that we've always come together sort of with a sole focus and a sole purpose. And we realize that our future is to attract and retain as many students as we can, because that's something we can control. With all the challenges that the state of Oklahoma has, our future is really building our enrollment and creating the best student experience we can. And so to be able to make history in your first 18 months, that's I don't think it gets any better than that.
That's awesome. Can you share some of the statistics with us? I know really to think about the percentage increase, it kind of blows your mind, to be honest.
Yeah, so the actual percentage increase is a 38% increase. To give you an idea, roughly 45% of all the students on our campus are freshmen now. And so as you think about how this transition has gone, and later on down the road, what you're going to see is if we continue to build big freshman classes like that, we probably double our enrollment.
Right.
And the nice thing about that is it gives us revenue and the capacity to take care of faculty the way they really deserve to be taken care of. I don't think a lot of people know this, but our faculty haven't had a raise since 2009. And they do great work, and they deserve more, and they deserve better. And so this is really the first step in creating all the resources we need to do things like raises, to fix all of our buildings, to renovate our dorms, and to make all of our facilities what our students deserve and what we need to be able to compete. And so when I think about it, I think, wow, 45% of our students are freshmen, 38% increase, that's awesome. But I'm already looking sort of past that to if we can do that for 3 or 4 years, then we've really changed the trajectory of our university. And that's, to me, that's having that first step is important, but it's having the vision to know what the third and the fourth and the fifth and the 10th step is to make sure we make it across the finish line.
Right. Well, you have a couple of key members that you've added to your team that we'll be meeting today. Can you share with us some about how that is also going to, help your plan for the future as well?
Yeah, I think it's, I'm excited. But what I'm most pleased with is the entire university is excited about. Dr. Julie Dinger is joining us, and Dr. Ryan Blanton. And they're a husband and wife team. I've worked with them before. And to be honest, they're superstars in Oklahoma, and I would say probably rising stars. And so to have them on our team, it enables us to not just think about the right now, it enables us to think about what are we going to look like in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And so their talent level and their energy level is already changing our culture. And so when I think about them coming to our campus, it's those pieces falling into place to make sure that we have everything we need on the administrative side to support what everybody else needs in the university. And so I think what I think most people are going to notice is Dr. Dinger's personality and sort of her academic mind is amongst one of the best in the state. When it comes to events and fundraising, I would say that if you can think about athletes are generally the best athletes or the most recruited athletes are called blue chip athletes. Well, Dr. Blanton is probably the best of the best in terms of the blue chip, in terms of fundraising and outreach. And so to bring them to the Panhandle, and they really seem to like the area, and everybody really seems to like them. They have 3 beautiful kids, and so they really fit well with what we're trying to do in terms of the family atmosphere.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to switch gears just a little bit. I know we have a lot of fun events going on, especially throughout the fall. We're getting ready for homecoming. We're going to do a preview of that later on with Diane in the alumni office. But one thing I wanted to bring up, you're putting in working on a rivalry game, right? This is a fun thing. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about. So one of my best president friends is Dr. Kent Smith. He's the president of Langston University. Okay. We're governed by the same governing board, the Oklahoma A&M Board of Regents. And so Ken and I have been friends for a long time. Well, with the NAI switch, we're now in the same conference. So we're going to play them every year. And so I came up with the idea of what if we had an A&M rivalry. And so at first he wasn't sure about this because our football team's pretty good. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but they're really good this year. And so it's been record attendance at games, and we've just had a lot of fun. It's fun to watch the coaches and the players get their swagger back in terms of being able to win a lot of games, really confident moving forward. Well, everybody in the state's talking about that. So when I go to Kent and I said, hey, what do you think about doing a rivalry game? He, in his mind, he convinced himself that we were going to bus in NFL players or something else like that. So it probably took me 3 or 4 months to convince him. But he and I have split the cost of an 18-inch, 100-pound brass bell.
I saw that.
Did you? Yeah.
It's pretty massive.
It is pretty massive. And so the idea is every year, whoever wins the A&M rivalry will be able to carve their name on it. So first year will be 2017, 2018, and so forth. And it's designed to be a traveling trophy.
Although we plan to just keep it here.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that I'm actually going to chain it to the stands, I mean, I wasn't going to tell him about that until he actually got here. But I think it's pretty excited. What I've noticed is it's given the players a reason to get up for something. And so it's not quite a bowl game, it's not quite a championship game, but it's close because now there's all kinds of social media buzz about who's going to win. Langston right now is 3-0, and we are 3-1 with a bye this coming week. And we're 2-0 in the conference, and so are they. And so they're ranked 15th in the country. And so I think all of this is sort of building up into a really, I just think, a fun event. So there are like T-shirts for this deal, and there's all kinds of trash talking on social media about who's the best and who going back. And so what we're going to talk about in about a week is Kent and I are trying to work out a bet between the two presidents. And so he didn't have a lot of hair, so he thought shaving our head would be good. I actually like my hair and I like being married, so we're not going to shave our heads for this.
That's not an option.
Exactly, yeah. So, but I think we're going to settle on something like having to wear the other team's jersey for a day or something else like that. So really it's more about bragging rights and giving everybody a reason to come together. And then next year when we go to Langston, we'll do the same thing there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What else is going on campus? Is there anything else you'd like to cover before we leave today?
You bet. I think two things that I'm personally excited about. We've got our OPSU Panhandle Shooting Sports facility. We're about halfway through the granting process with the federal government, and that's going to be a game changer for us. So we've got our first fundraiser here in just a little bit, and they've sold twice as many tickets as we had originally printed for it. So to me, that tells me that there are a lot of community members that are really interested in coming out and being a part of that. The other thing is we're doing a lot of really great partnerships with our local public schools. So we're looking at an early college program with Guyman High School. We're looking, well, I guess we've actually done an after-school program with Goodwill Public Schools. I have a great relationship with Hooker Public Schools. And so really creating partnerships so that we give the students that are already going to school here an option to come here. And so the idea is if you want to build an economy and build a region, you have to get the hometown discount. And in that, what we're trying to do is get people who already live here, who love living here, who love the area, have family. If we can give them a living wage and a way to make a living, then they'll stay here and all boats rise. And so doing those kind of partnerships is the first step in making a lot of that happen. And so I'm really proud. Again, I mean, I feel like we come up with ideas and we set a vision, and then our campus has really come together to make all these things happen, and it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
I'm joined by Dr. Julie Dinger, the Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs. Hi, Dr. Dinger.
Hi, how are you, Danae?
Good. It's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
I know you started officially in July, and I know not a lot of people have gotten the chance to get to meet you, so wanted to have you on and let you introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about yourself so they could get the chance to get to know you.
Okay, well, thank you. So like you said, I've been here since July 1, and actually I came out about a week before that to move my family up here. Since coming here, it's been kind of jumping right into things and falling right into place. Before coming to Panhandle, I was at Connors State College, and before that, I was at the University of Oklahoma. So I started out in higher ed in the classroom, teaching sociology courses, first at OU and then at Connors State College, and sort of took a circuitous route into administration. Wound up becoming a division chair, which is kind of like a dean here at OPSU while I was at Connors State. And from there moved into academic affairs because I had a penchant for report writing, and I was trained as a quantitative sociologist. So I like numbers and program analysis and those kinds of things. So that's sort of how I wound up on that track.
Okay, and here you have a crazy big role. You're overseeing academic areas, you oversee recruitment, student housing, student affairs, financial aid. Can you give us a brief glimpse into a day? I'm sure none of them are the same.
That's right. Every day is different, and there are new and kind of unexpected challenges, but then also really neat opportunities. So I love the work that I get to do. You mentioned a few of the areas. So for example, on recruiting, today I got to help carry out a stack of 150 acceptance letters.
That's awesome.
That are really exciting to see going out for
Future
students.
Aggies.
That's right, class of 22. So that's fun. I get to be part of that conversation, part of helping to plan senior day and counselor roundup and other kind of big events. But then also, today I also got to spend some time in financial aid and making sure that we had everything in place for the Department of Education and filing our reports annually for that. In the midst of those sort of academic affairs things, I'm also involved in student affairs, so student conduct issues. I like to tell students when I meet them that if everything goes according to plan, they'll never see me again, because for student conduct issues, I have to be part of those processes. And then housing and student activities, SGA, those kinds of things. So I really enjoy the academic affairs work. The student affairs work is also really gratifying, getting to see students engaged on campus and doing activities and being part of things.
It's really neat to see how all the puzzle pieces fit together. It's definitely a team effort. I mean, we have to have housing, we have to have financial aid, there's lots of different pieces. So it's neat with your job, you get to see it all come together and work with lots of different sides. When we think about that, what was it that first attracted you to Panhandle State?
Well, it was a perfect fit for my family. My husband, my partner, also works in higher ed. I believe will be on the show at another point.
Yes, we get to meet him as well.
Yes. So education is the family business, and we really enjoy working in the A&M system. It's really grown us and given us opportunities to grow and to learn and to be part of things. And so it was just a natural fit for us here at Panhandle, and the culture really works well with us and our family and our values. We've been so pleased with how kind everybody has been and how welcoming everyone has been. It's like my kids have been here 10 years already. They play with your little Tegrin and talk about each other at school and those kinds of things.
Well, we're very glad to have you. I know the semester's off to a great start. We made history already. Do you want to share that news?
We have welcomed the largest freshman class in OPSU history. I'm not going to take too much credit for that, seeing as how I only joined in here at the July 1 mark. But the enrollment management team, the recruiting team, just did a phenomenal job all last year, and really made those connections and got people to commit and got them to come to be part of our largest freshman class. So it's really exciting. It's also a really big challenge for us on the academic side. So all of my team, both my directors and my deans, we're really orienting ourselves now toward how do we keep those students. So how do we get them connected on campus with faculty members or clubs or organizations, events that are going to keep them engaged. How do we make sure that we complement the good things that are going on in the classroom outside of the classroom with connections to us as an OPSU family? So it's exciting. It's a challenge, but it's exciting.
Awesome. So celebrate for a second and head to the focus,
That's
retention.
right.
Do you have any specific plans that you want to mention? I know there are some new programs in place. One of them that we'll be talking about a bit more is Panhandle's Future.
Yes. I'm really excited about Panhandle's Future. There are lots of neat things kind of on the horizon that we're working on right now, but Panhandle's Future is one of those really unique opportunities that we have as a university to connect with our local community. So there was a need for an after-school program here at Goodwell. There were kids whose parents didn't have options for them after school for care.
Right.
We happen to have, in my opinion and in the opinion of CAPE, the national accreditor, one of the best education programs, not just in Oklahoma, but in the country for preparing elementary ed teachers. So it just made perfect sense for us to partner up, get some of our almost prepare are almost totally certified students
Right.
to start working with those kids after school. And so you've got, it's a relatively small group of kids that are getting one-on-one interaction with some really excellent prepared almost student teachers. So they're trying out lesson plans, they're playing with 3D printers, they're using smart tables, and they're getting to take advantage of all the benefits that we have to offer them as a university, and then hopefully creating little Aggies in the process.
That's right. Well, that's a perfect partnership where both sides are getting to, the kids are benefiting from getting to be around the teachers, the future teachers are
That's
getting
right.
to get their feet wet even more. I know they've already been out in the classroom for observation hours and that type of thing, but this just really, you're very hands-on and
Yeah.
such a benefit for the little Aggies too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're real proud of it.
I know we get to speak later on with Ellie. She is a teacher in the after-school program, so maybe we can get a little bit of what a typical day looks like and some of the fun stuff that they get to do as well.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you taking the time to come out today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
So excited to be here. Thank you for having me on the program.
We're excited to have you. Thank you. Hi, I have Dr. Ryan Blanton, the Vice President of Outreach at Panhandle State, with us today. It's nice to have you.
Hi, I'm happy to be here. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, let's start off and let you introduce yourself.
Okay.
I know you started in July.
I did.
And it's been a fast couple of months, probably just a whirlwind. And you've been out in the community. I'm sure you've already met a lot of folks, but there are still many who don't know you. So start at the beginning. Tell us where you grew up, where you were raised.
That's always the funnest question for me. I was an Air Force brat, so I was born in the Philippines, graduated high school in Belgium, lived in England, but really I grew up kind of in eastern New Mexico, Oklahoma, and West Texas. So out here, I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of back home, and I'm very excited about that. After high school, I was in the military for a number of years, and then I went to the University of Oklahoma, where I kind of began my educational career, my academic career.
Okay. Tell us what you majored in, that type of thing.
Okay,
Fill us in
yeah.
on those details.
All three of my degrees are in anthropology, and I specialize in medical anthropology and sociolinguistic anthropology, which most people don't know about. But my background really is in medical research and teaching, and so I worked for a time with the Oklahoma Healthcare Authority as
Okay.
a kind of a regional outreach coordinator in Southeast Oklahoma. And then after that, I started working at Connor State College. There I ran the foundation for a number of years and kind of moved up to Associate Vice President of External Affairs, and then came out here to be the Vice President of Outreach
Okay.
starting July 1.
Okay. This is a new position for campus. Tell me how that works. I know you have already made strides with this position that are going to affect the university for the future. Don't be shy. Fill us in on some of those details and the plans that y'all have for the future as well.
Okay, you're right. This is a new position for the university, and it's really a new position in higher education. As the state has been continually cutting our funds, it's become a lot more important for us to go out and engage our community supporters, to go out and get federal funding so that we can operate new programs and give students the highest level of education that we can. So my job really is to kind of align our alumni, our foundation, our marketing, some of our recruitment strategies into kind of a cohesive model where we're engaging with our community, we're engaging with our constituents, and that we're bringing in resources that make the best experience for our students.
So we talked with Dr. Dinger earlier. You're just like she is. You have lots of different responsibilities. I'll let you tell us about those. But it's neat to see, you get to see all the puzzle pieces coming together as well. And I think that's really awesome to sit back and see how each area is very vital to the university.
It really is. I think a big part of my job is kind of working with the president and the vision of the college and getting the different components of the campus to kind of align into that vision. And so things such as well, right here in the cafe, the food services, we have a new food vendor, and so
Right.
getting them up and going in a positive way and making sure that the student's experience is beneficial is very important. I work with you in communications and marketing and sports information, and really we're trying to align our message and get community support. We work with Diane Murphy, who we'll talk to in
Right.
a little bit, with alumni and re-engaging our alumni, giving them reasons to get back on campus, giving them reasons to engage. We work with the bookstore, which has been super successful the past year. I'm very excited about the buzz and activity going on in there. That really helps our branding and our image, and it's exciting to see all the new shirts and clothes with the logos. And I was in Oklahoma City and saw somebody driving around with a sticker in their window, and it's just awesome to see that. And so really it's all working to better the vision of the university and to move us forward.
Right. We're very glad to have you. I know you have a very impressive track record for gaining private donations, economic development. One area we haven't really touched on, I don't think too much yet, is grants. And you have a great record of securing grants. Can you tell me a little more about how that's a big role in where you're at right now as well?
Grants really are the future of higher education, and to be able to do the massive technological upgrades or renovations that we need with tight budgets is very hard, and so we rely very strongly on those grants. And the new cycle of grants will be coming out, and so we're working very hard to be prepared to be able to tell our story and show why we are a leader in higher education in the region and why we should be invested in. I think we're worth investing in, and my job is to convince others that we are too.
Right. One area specifically you've been working with on grants would be the shooting sports facility. And I know they've got a lot of great plans coming up, and this involves the community as well.
Absolutely. We're planning on having a hunter education and community center out at the shooting sports facility, which of course is being funded by a Fish and Wildlife grant through the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife. And it's a really exciting opportunity. I've been able to engage in that and kind of, through my experience, help out on that and help us get through the bumps in the road and the paperwork and the red tape. It's very bureaucratic. We'll be having a fundraiser, which I'm excited to be a part of. The community support for this is just amazing, and it will be a range open for the community to use and to come out and enjoy. One of the great things, I've been dove hunting out here twice since I've gotten here, and I mean, this is just a great place to enjoy the outdoors and to be part of that culture. And I'm just super excited to be part of it.
Good. Well, I can't wait for it to be here, and I know there's lots of other people that are ready as well. You mentioned community. I know a large part, and we've touched on this as well, will be out and interacting with the community. I know now we've had the chance to be at county fairs throughout the fall. We'll be trying to engage as much as we can in Guyman, the area. Is there anything else you want to share about that?
Yeah, so I've been able to get out in the community quite a bit in Guyman and Goodwell and in some of our outlying areas and places where our students come from. My vision is that wherever our students come from, we have a presence there. We really do want them to feel part of the Panhandle family, and we really do want to grow into a regional center of excellence. And so getting out and engaging is a very important part of that. In fact, today I was in Guyman for some meetings with companies coming in and looking to provide opportunities out here, and so I'm very excited. I go to Oklahoma City for the state region stuff very often, and I'm always engaging members of our state to come out. And I'm trying to get a bunch of them to come out and take a tour of some of our facilities out here. They just keep complaining the drive's too long, and I say it's not that bad. So the invitation's always open for them to come out here, and so I really enjoy the community engagement aspect quite a bit.
Homecoming's just around the corner. It's a great opportunity for the community to get to be on campus. We have lots of events going on. What are some that you would like to highlight?
Yeah, so we have our alumni events coming on, and I'll let Ms. Murphy talk about that. We'll have a parade at 10:30, and we'll do our honored family, and of course the rivalry game is a big one. And then in the evening we'll have a couple events as well, and we'll have the Athletic Hall of Fame that evening, and I think we've got the class of 1971 having a little reunion on campus too. But we're working on something big. We can't really give too much detail right now, but we're going to have a big reveal there of probably what I would consider a athletics record and a naming agreement, a naming gift for our arena and stadium. We're very excited about that. So I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to come out to homecoming and see for yourself.
Okay, well, we're super excited to have the chance to sit down with you, get to know you a little more. Is there anything else we've missed that you want to add before we go?
I think there's a lot of positive changes going on at OPSU, and I'm very happy to be part of them. And if anybody out there wants to discuss or has an idea where we can engage with our community, please stop by my office, and I'll be happy to talk with you.
All right, we appreciate your time and thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you.
We are joined by the president of the Association of Alumni and Friends, Diane Murphy. How are you today?
Doing good, thank you. It's nice to be here.
Good. You have a new role. You've recently retired, but you're back. So probably not, has much changed?
Quite a bit has changed. I guess I don't make a really good retired person, but the alumni elected me president of the Alumni Association last spring. And since I retired, I have time to come to campus and work at re-engaging and connecting people. For those of you that don't know out there, the Alumni Association is the way you stay engaged with Panhandle State University. We try to keep our alumni aware of what's happening and be the connection between you and the place that you really enjoyed so much. You can join the Alumni Association either as an annual member or as a lifetime member. Information about doing that can be found on our webpage. You go to the OPSU webpage, click on alumni, and you can actually join online. You can renew your membership online. You can even buy a t-shirt online.
It's all there.
And the t-shirt has our new logo on it, which is the OPSU alumni logo. And Danae will send Sean a picture of that, and maybe you guys will get a closer view of it. But we're real proud of the new logo at Panhandle State, and the Alumni Association redesigned theirs to be coherent, so we have a single face that we put out. The alumni is really active in making OPSU a better place. The solarium we're sitting in, you all probably can't read this, but the Alumni Association built the solarium that we're sitting in. The clock tower that's on campus with the bells and the music and that chimes the hours and the quarter hours, that was built by the Alumni Association. And just a couple years ago, we added digital media capabilities to it, so we've updated it in the recent past. We also built the sign on the highway, the one that you drive by with has the plainsman on it. We contributed to the Noble Center, helped buy all the tables and chairs, planted trees all over campus, the memorial. If you've ever noticed the War Memorial on the end of the library, the alumni sponsored that. And basically, we just try to help Panhandle State be a better place. And we need you to help us. We need you to stay engaged, whether you're an alumni or a friend. And by the way, dictionary.com defines an alumni as anyone who attended or graduated from a university.
Okay.
So if you've ever been to a class at OPSU, you're one of our alumni, and we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to get engaged with you. One of the ways we're trying to reconnect is increasing our social media presence.
Yes, I've noticed you have a lot of pictures up on Facebook. You've added Snapchat recently.
Yes, we added a we joined Snapchat, and for those of you that don't know what Snapchat is, it's a social media app where you can post pictures, and they only live for a short period of time, 24 hours roughly, and it's just kind of an interactive way that you can share things with your friends and family. Appeals especially to people between the ages of 15 and 30, and some people even who are older than that. But we created what's called a filter, which is basically like a picture frame for the last football game. And we did a thing called geofencing, which is a way of telling the computer the coordinates of the places you want to include. And we included all of the stands and the tailgating area, and we put up our filter. And what's really cool, I got to throw a few numbers out there. We had 300 people look at our filter, and 226 of them used it.
Great.
Which was a 75% connect rate, which is really good in the social media world. And those 226 people reached 11,600 viewers with their shares and their friends. So our logo and the new Panhandle Aggie mascot and kind of a football field at the bottom reached 11,600 people.
That's awesome.
Cool.
And it gives a chance for those alumni that weren't able to be at the game to have a little part in it, right?
And several students sent us copies of the pictures they sent, and it was just kind of a fun way to engage people and help you recognize our new logo and recognize Panhandle State. The other thing we're doing, like you mentioned, is we've changed the management of our Facebook account. Last week we reached 4,165 viewers, and 2 weeks ago when we put up the homecoming information about the Atbowers being the honored family, we reached 5,230 people just with that one post.
Right.
So we're trying to re-engage people in the places where they are. And if you're on social media, we want to meet you there. But we would love to have you come meet us face to face. We have a new location.
Okay.
We've moved into the same building with the foundation, 109 Heffley Hall. Anyone that wants to come by, we'd love to give you a cup of coffee and a cup of hot chocolate. And we'd love to have you come in and visit. We have all the old yearbooks, which if you were here a number of years ago, you might have fun just sitting down and looking through an old yearbook.
That's right.
And
You mentioned several of the projects that alumni has done throughout the years and what their mission is. Tell us some of the new projects. I know you've started an exciting munch on Mondays.
well, it's kind of a small project, but it's going to be a lot of fun. One of the things that we want to do is engage students and help them connect with alumni. We have a lot of really successful alumni, a great many of whom are in this area.
Right.
And we'd like for students to meet them and make that network, have that connection before they graduate. So we've started a program we call Monday Munch, and we have students who faculty recommend come to the alumni office and have lunch, and we bring in 4 to 5 alumni who are in their field. For instance, the first week we had student government.
Right.
And we brought in our state representative, Casey Murdoch, the county commissioner, Jack Strain, the mayor of Guyman, Kim Peterson, and a local school board member, Roger Edenborough. And they didn't give speeches or anything, they just had lunch. But they sat with the student government officials here and talked to them about, when you get through being a student, consider public service. This is how you can help your communities. This is what you can do. And this is kind of what it's like when you're out there. So that was really kind of fun. That was our first
Really
one.
laid back and just a chance for them to actually get to ask questions if they want to, right? Connect them
Yeah.
up, give them resources if they need.
A possible resource when they graduate, but just a chance to get to know our alumni, to see what they're doing, to look at how successful so many of our alumni are. The second week we had ag students. We had 10 ag students come in.
Okay.
And had 4 people who were involved in ag. We had a banker, a man who owns a trucking business. We had and 2 farmers, one that farms and ranches and one that ranches. And they came in and met with 10 students. The alumni who came in, I guess I should tell you who they are. Rowdy Slavin, who is the executive vice president at Acre Bank in Texoma.
Mm-hmm.
Jared McDaniel, who farms and ranches around Texoma. Todd Mason, who farms in the Goodwill area.
Okay.
And James Hager, who owns a trucking business in Goodwill. And they're all alumni and friends of OPSU. And they talked to 10 ag majors who were recommended by the faculty to come visit with alumni. And they had lunch and visited, and then they all went about what they're doing. And we have our next one scheduled for next Monday. We're bringing in the liberal arts students and some alumni who have jobs and careers in that area. Then we will do the School of Business and the School of Education and the School of Math and Science and Nursing. Next semester we hope to continue it focusing on the clubs. And every couple of weeks have a group of students in from a particular club.
Okay.
And bring in alumni who have interests similar to what their club does. And anyway, that's one of the things we're working on.
That's been a neat project.
Yes, it has. And we're also doing some more things that aren't really quite as fun, like redesigning our database and reconnect, trying to get working on renewals and life memberships and making those opportunities more visible so people can take advantage of. That's one way to get involved and to pay back and pay it forward with what you got from OPSU, and reconnect and work with students.
Okay, do you want to tell us some of the plans that are in place for homecoming?
Homecoming is really going to be fun this year. It's October 28th, Saturday, October 28th. We're playing Langston. And there's a trophy that's going to go back and forth between the 2 schools.
We visited with
And-
Dr. Fulton about the bell and the rivalry that's being
That's
started.
going to be fun. But my day will start, and the alumni's day can start at 8 o'clock. We're going to have alumni registration in the McKee Library foyer. And we'll have coffee and small refreshments for them to visit. The class of 1971 is having a special reunion just because they want to. And they will have
Okay.
their own area in the library where they can visit with each other. And that evening, they're also having a dinner and a program in the Noble Center. They're going to have
Great.
a banquet. So anyone out there between the the class of 69 through 75, please call me. I'll get you in touch with the man who's doing the dinner, and I know they would love to have everybody that could possibly come. At 9 o'clock, we're having a reception for the honored family. This year's honored family is the Etbauer family.
And let's talk a bit more about them. Like you mentioned, I know we shared the story on our Facebook page and had a lot of interest. They're very well known. What can you share with us about them?
The Etbauer family has done a great deal for OPSU, and most people probably know them because of their association with rodeo. But they've also done a great more than just rodeo. They encourage kids to stay here to get their degree, to become successful graduates once they get out, not only in the rodeo world, but also in just the general world that they go into. So they've been great advisors, great supporters of the students, as well as the rodeo team. There are 3 brothers, Robert, Danny, and Billy. Robert is currently the coach of our national championship rodeo team, and he was on teams that went to the national finals as an OPSU student twice, and was part of one of our early championships, and now he's coached this one. So Robert has been involved with OPSU rodeo for a long time. His brother Danny also competed when Robert was here, and they both went to the college finals the same year. It was the first year that OPSU had ever gotten to the finals, and Danny and Robert were both part of that. Their brother Billy has been very supportive of the Bronx School that we have every summer, and other things that the rodeo team does. They have a sister, Wanda, that I don't think a lot of people know about, but she also is supportive, and they've been a great family to support OPSU. And their parents and the children and grandchildren will all be here at homecoming, and we will honor them with a reception in the University House, the newly remodeled President's House. The reception will be that morning at 9.
So people can come out and greet them?
They can come to the University House. In the back side of the University House is a kind of a ballroom reception room, fairly large meeting room. And there'll be plenty of space, and they can greet the Etbauers and visit with them and
catch up
on things. So we'd love for all of the alumni, but especially those of you who like rodeo, to come and visit with the Etbauers that day. At 10 o'clock, the honored family will have a plaque and tree dedicated to them, which is a tradition with all of our honored families. That helps the Alumni Association plant trees on campus, and we have a row that we will over time dedicate to the honored families that we're going to do. Then at 10:30, we have a float in the parade.
Okay.
The parade starts at 10:30, and we will have the honored family do that. In the meantime, if you want to be in the parade, you need to contact Rance Traylor, our Dean of Students, and he has the forms to fill out. If you'd like to bring a band, bring a float, bring a horse, anything you want to put in the Panhandle State Parade, contact our Dean of Students at Panhandle State, and he'll be glad to help you fill out the form and get that done. The parade actually starts at 10:30. After the parade, there'll be tailgating in the tailgate area.
Which the tailgating has been a very neat addition in the last year.
It's fun. It's just a good place to go visit with people and connect and reconnect. For homecoming, the alumni will sponsor the barbecue with the help of Seaboard. Seaboard is going to be grilling that day and provide food, and the alumni will also step in and provide the condiments and the dessert and the chips and all the stuff that goes with the meat. And we hope to feed lots and lots of people. Last year we fed 800 people. We're planning on hoping to double that this year.
And the tailgate area, for those that haven't been able to participate in that yet, just right outside the football field, right?
It's just west of the gym and east of the football field, that grassy area between there. If you drive on Panhandle's campus on a game day, you'll see 16 to 20 tents setting up and hundreds of people wandering around under them, so you should have a pretty easy time spotting it. And it's really a delightful way to spend part of a day. And after the tailgate, of course, there's the homecoming court and the homecoming game. And during halftime of the homecoming game, we will introduce the honored family and have some other, the band's got a couple of special things planned and some other activities. And one of the really neat things, if you're an alumni and you register for homecoming, we'll give you a discount certificate so you can buy some really cool Aggie gear with our new logo on it.
Okay, that's awesome. So a big day.
Yes, yes, a very big day. And that night, I think Dr. Blanton mentioned that night there is the Hall of Fame banquet, and then the class of 71 and friends are going to have a separate banquet on campus at the same time.
Lots of opportunities to engage, interact, see old friends, meet new students, all that type of thing.
Yes.
What else is going on? Are there other things you'd like to cover? New projects you have in mind?
Nothing I'm really ready to talk about yet. I've got things in the design stage and the planning stage. The biggest thing we're going to do is redoing our database. And we hope to, one of the positives of the move we made, we're in the same building with the foundation. So the Panhandle State Foundation and the Panhandle State Alumni Association are going to be able to work together on a lot of things. And we did do that before, but we weren't physically close to each other. And now we're in the same building, on the same floor, and I think we can really support each other, and between both of us, their fundraising abilities and our engagement abilities be a real plus for Panhandle State.
Well, we appreciate all your time. It sounds like a great day, and it's exciting to hear everything that the alumni has going on and the plans you have for the future. If anybody wants to contact you, what's the best way to do that?
Best way to contact me is probably email. There's several of them. You can reach me, Diane, at opsu.edu.
Okay.
Or the alumni email is opsu.alumni@opsu.edu. Or go to our website. Go to the OPSU website, click on alumni, and you can leave us a message there. Or if you really want to do it the fun way, just come see us, 109 Heffley Hall. And we're generally there from 8 to 2. A lot of days we're there till 5, but our scheduled timing is 8 to 2, Monday through Thursday, and then I'm usually there at 3 or 4 hours on Friday. So we're a volunteer organization, and we'd love to have your help. And one of the ways you can help us is to renew your membership or create a life membership.
One other thing we might mention, I know it's a ways away, but in the spring you have a large event.
Yes, in the spring we have our alumni banquet, which will be in April, probably the first week in April. It'll be on Saturday night, and we encourage all of our alumni and our senior students to come and, again, reconnect, visit. It's really a great time just to see people that you maybe haven't seen in a long time. And we're looking forward to planning that, and we'll have specifics such as time and stuff as it gets closer.
Once you get through homecoming, start on the next project.
And speaking of that, every year at homecoming we add inductees to our Hall of Fame. If any of you out there have someone you'd like to nominate for the OPSU Alumni Hall of Fame, the forms are on our website. Please print them out, fill them out, mail them to us, email them to us. And if you're really thinking ahead of yourself, you can nominate someone for the honored family for the 2018 homecoming.
Okay.
And all the information you need to do that is on our website.
Okay. Diane, thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing everything that you have going on. We're looking forward to the future.
Thank you, so am I.
We have Ellie Escobar. She's a senior here at Panhandle State, and she is double majoring, correct?
Yeah.
And tell us about your major.
Okay, well, I am an elementary education major, and I do have a minor in business and physical science. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm all over the place.
Today we want to focus on your elementary education degree, and we have a really neat partnership that we've recently started with Goodwell Schools and the university. It's an after-school care program, and you are a teacher in the program. I
Yes.
know you're excited. I know you guys have been getting to do a lot with that, and I want to talk about how the program's set up, how it works, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the program is an after-school program. It is called Panhandle's Future. And right now, I don't know if in the future we'll expand to other schools, but right now we're just with Goodwell, and we get the kids. It's myself and Mrs. Vera, and we get the kids and we come. She teaches 3rd through 5th.
Okay.
Through 5th, and I do pre-K to 2nd grade. And so, yeah, that's really neat. We do different kind of things.
So you go, you pick them up
Yes,
after
we
school.
go, we pick them up. They
The first-
they come on campus.
And they start off, they have like snack time,
Yes,
just a time
yes.
to kind of relax.
Yes, they do have
and
snacks, and
that's
and then
important.
We do, yes, it's very important. They love their snacks. So they have snacks, and then we come up here. We have volunteers from our community that will read to them on Tuesdays and
Okay.
Thursdays. We have a reader in the library, so they really love that. Then we come into our education art room, and we work on either craft activities or STEM projects.
Okay.
And then we do homework time. We also go to the Noble Center and we just, mess around. They love to, well, I shouldn't say mess around, but they love to like run around and play
Like
games
burn off
and just
some energy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
interact, play with each other, have some friends to play
Yes.
with. For those that don't know about the STEM projects, I'm sure you're very familiar with them going through the program. Can you tell us what some of those are?
Yes, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. So basically these are just some higher level thinking type of projects. For example, the other day we had, it was a very basic activity where we had marbles, and every kid, they had safety goggles and chopsticks, and they had to pick up the marbles from a cup and put them in another cup. Some of them were really good at it, some of them struggled, and they were kind of frustrated, but I'm like, it's not, you're not always going to know how to do stuff. It's about finding a way. So then they started, really thinking, how am I going to get this marble? And so they got creative. Some of them figured out that they could use both hands, to hold the chopsticks. And
Right.
I mean, it was just neat watching them because they hadn't really been faced with situations like, there's a solution and I have to really find it. So it's just really neat getting to see that.
And you have a little bit of freedom then to design the lesson plans. Can you explain how that works, first of all?
That's the really fun part. I get to design my own lesson plans. So we do, Miss Vera's are completely different than mine. She does completely different STEM activities, basically because they're different grades.
Right.
So mine is more, younger grade. So we did a whole Trolls theme one time where we had, a Trolls coloring page, and we watched a little bit of the movie. We made our STEM project for that was we did trolls out of Play-Doh, and they had to be creative on how they made their trolls and so on. This week we've been kind of doing a Finding Dory theme, but it's really an under the sea type of theme, and so we're learning about different fish and so on. And it's just really neat watching them. But yeah, I just do my own stuff, and then we're going to get into a lot of the fall type of themes, and we will have pumpkins to decorate and so on that someone is donating from the community. It's really neat.
So you can tailor your lesson plans to exactly what you feel like might benefit them the most.
Yes, and that's what I do. And I mean, and that's kind of where I've had to like really learn, I guess, as a student, because when one teaches, two learn. So, I've learned how to like manage my time. Sometimes I give an assignment and they finish it in like 5 minutes, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, so I'm learning. I need to have like 5 things planned for one day, because you're always going to have those students that will do it so fast and so on. But yeah, it's just really neat.
Okay, let's back up just a little bit. You started here as a concurrent student, actually. You started taking college classes while you were still in high school. You had a lot of opportunities. I know you've been involved in lots of different activities and organizations throughout your time here. You started into the elementary education program, and you go out and you do observation hours, and you get a bit of hands-on experience, so to speak, but I'm sure this has taken that to a whole new level.
It really has, because when you go in to observe in a classroom, you're basically learning from the teacher, and you're watching what she does, how she, manages her classroom and so on. But here it's like I'm the teacher, and I'm getting to implement my own classroom management and so on. Like right now I did something that we have composition books, and that's where we glue everything that we do, all our coloring pages, so we're keeping track of it so parents can have it at the end of the year and they can see everything that their kids did. Well, anyways, if my kids are good, they get a sticker on the top of their notebook. So whoever has the most stickers, they're doing good and stuff, and it's just a neat little way. I mean, but yeah, I'm getting to manage my own classroom instead of watching somebody else do it. But yeah, so I'm kind of learning really and truly hands-on.
So you will student teach next
This
semester?
spring,
This
yeah.
spring,
This
okay.
spring, yeah.
What a perfect time then for you to start this program.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel like this is going to help you? I mean, it's pretty easy to guess. You've mentioned a number of different things that you've done that are probably going to help you for the future, but even just getting ready to student teach next semester, how do you see this program being a big part of that?
I feel like it's going to give me an advantage because I'm going to have a couple of those things that they say. You won't really learn that until you're student teaching when you're hands-on, because now I have an idea. So, I mean, I went from someone who just knew all the book stuff, you know, I've never subbed or anything like that, and now getting to really do this and like see for myself, manage my classroom and stuff. So I feel like I'm just gonna do amazing when I student teach, because I will already have basically this confidence because I've already done it with other kids that I know it's gonna be okay, you know?
Right. You talked about how you are going to see the benefits. Tell us, for the children that you're getting to teach and work with every day, and the families as well. Obviously, that's a big help to them that are the parents that are working, can't be there right after school's out. But what are the benefits you're already seeing? You've been doing it for about a month and a half now. Tell me some of the ways you've seen the students grow in just that short amount of time.
Well, I've seen the students grow just because they're getting confidence, and then just, of course, just different little things. Like I can see some of them improving in their coloring because we have a weekly coloring contest. So, you know, they've really improved on that. I have one, my youngest, he's a preschooler. He's really improved on his like cutting and stuff, and like writing his name and so on. Some of my kids right now, we're learning to write sentences, and I mean, they've just been improving on that. Their imagination has, I could just see that. And then we pick up little things that they're struggling with at school. We have whiteboards and we'll just practice it, whether, you know, their numbers or their names and so on. So I could pinpoint and see when they're improving and so on. But yeah, that's pretty neat right there. But also I can see where it's benefiting the families.
Have you gotten feedback back from them?
Yes, most families are very grateful that we have this program, mainly because Goodwill is a very small town. Most of our parents work in Guyman or, you know, in the surrounding area, so it kind of gives them a little, you know, they're not having to rush to get their kids or make arrangements and so on, because they're here, and then, you know, they can just come at 5 and so on. But yeah, so I think it's benefiting our community as well.
Definitely. It's just a really neat partnership to see. It's neat to see that each side can truly benefit from the program.
Yeah.
What else do you have going? Like I mentioned, you are very active. The last time we talked to you, you were getting ready for the first Student Government Association meeting. You are the president of the student body. I don't know how you fit it all in.
I don't either. No, but we have a meeting tonight, so we'll get to discuss some more stuff and really finalize all our homecoming details. We do have homecoming coming up October the 28th, so that's exciting. We decided at our last meeting that our homecoming theme is Wild with Pride.
Okay.
And the P in Pride is actually the Panhandle P, so that's kind of neat on there. But yeah, I mean, all the clubs are getting ready. They're, you know, laying out their designs for their floats and the door decorating contest. So I think it'll really be a good parade this year from what I've heard the different clubs are going to do with their floats and stuff. I can't wait for it.
And also it's neat too because the community, again, a neat way for us to interact.
Yes.
The community is invited to participate in all the homecoming activities, but they can even enter floats, they can participate in the parade.
Yes.
Of course, come and watch.
Yeah, come support us. We will have tailgating, and I mean the honored family, the homecoming court, everything. It's a big deal for OPSU or homecoming.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thanks for sharing about the program, and we wish you the best with your future.
Thank you so
much. We know you'll do great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Inside OPSU. Come out and see us at homecoming on October 28th. And that's what's happening on campus.